Добре дојдовте во уште еден Лавиринт. Јас сум Cristina. Денеска гостинка во студиото ќе биде моја колешка од Италија, од Милано, Cristina Brondoni, со која што се запознавме во Киев, додека известувавме таму во првите месеци од војната. Кристина е новинарка, но и писателка и криминолог, која наголемо ја користат италијанските медиуми секогаш кога има потреба, односно кога се случуваат сериозни криминални действија во Италија. Но таа не се задржува само на криминологијата, па токму и затоа ја посети Украина и известуваше од таму. Го имам задоволството денеска да имаме во Скопје, во мојот град, и со неа ќе поразговараме на неколку важни теми, како италијанската политика кон Украина, кон проширувањето на Унијата, европските избори кои предстојат следниот месец, но и она што е за нас новинарите веројатно и најважно, а тоа е новинарската состојба, односно состојбата и безбедноста на новинарите. Почна штрајк нивниот национален сервис, новинарите од националниот сервис, што само зборува за тоа колку новинарите треба и може да бидат проактивни кога нивната слобода на изразување е загрозена. Cristina, thank you very much for coming to my studio. As I announced, you're a journalist and a novel writer from Italy. We met in Ukraine during the first months of the war. So again, thank you very much for coming to my studio, your second time in Skopje.
Yeah.
So when I mentioned Ukraine, we're going to start with the topic concerning Ukraine. So it was hard 2 years for the Ukrainians, but also hard 2 years for the whole European continent. So can you tell us more about Italian policy towards Ukraine? We saw that Italy also supported and helped Ukraine during the first period with weapons and with everything they needed. So do you expect that support to continue?
Okay. Thank you so much, Cristina, to have me here today, and I am very glad to meet you again. And about the support of Italy for Ukraine, the government is changing during this period, during 2 years, and the new Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, is continue the job of the previous Prime Minister, Draghi, and the help for Ukraine is coming on. So I think the politics is to help Ukraine in every way, for the weapons, for the money, for the population, and nothing is changed. If the government is changing, it's changed a lot, the help is the same.
So let's talk about what's happening on our continent other than this terrifying war. This year, it is, the media already called this year a super election year, also elections in European Union. Well, when I watch European TV stations or TV channels, they all say one thing, that the interest is in Europeans about the election is not very big. What's the situation in Italy? Are Italians ready to vote at the upcoming elections, and what is their opinion?
I think the European Union in this moment is really important. But I think it's really important for the politician point of view. And the people maybe is a lot of worried about the war in Ukraine and the new war in the conflict in Palestine and Israel. And usually in Italy, I don't know for the other countries, usually in Italy the European elections are more important for the politician parties than the people, because European elections are a moment where the parties can in some ways touch the orientation of the people. So in Italy there is a big European election campaign in this moment, and overall the Prime Minister said, okay, vote for me, vote for Giorgia Meloni, and every party has a big campaign to support itself, and I think people is I don't know how many people are interested in these elections, because Europe is too big and too far for people that doesn't that didn't speak the same language. So it's Europe, it's okay, but a lot of people in Italy are not so interested in the European question.
Well, you say Union is too big. If you ask someone from North Macedonia or Albania or Ukraine or Moldova, we will say not big enough.
Not big enough, yes, sure.
We're still struggling to be part of the Union.
I know.
So what about the support for enlargement process? Because we, in a way, we got a little bit disappointed, and we know that the next possible date is not coming up until 2030.
Yeah, I know. And but our Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, said she is for the enlargement of the European Union. So I think she is in this moment. She said she is working about this enlargement to include in the European Union new countries like Albania or maybe other countries, and I think she is really committed to this topic. People are interested, but if you ask me about normal people, I think they are not so interested in the politics of the European country, because just a few months ago in Italy we had a big problem with the new direction of Europe about the buildings, how you construct a building, how you manage a building. So we have a lot of ancient and old buildings, and the new directions of Europe are, okay, you have to make it right this way, right this, and it's not so easy to, I don't know how to say, to stay with the Europe in this way. So people, maybe it's just a little bit worried about it.
And it's not the only policy that is causing troubles inside of the Union. We also have agricultural protests. So.
And for the climate change, I think another big problem is for the cars, for the vehicles, because you can't use the diesel one. So diesel it's diesel in English, I don't know. The diesel one, gasol, and you have to buy something green, something electric, maybe. And there is a lot of problem, because in the big cities, I live in Milan, Milan city center. We have a big problem because there is a stop of the old cars, not so old car, or the diesel one, and so on, and it's the new direction of Europe.
So how is Italy handling between the will of the people and the new regulatives inside of the European Union? I
think in this moment there are two visions about this topic. And one vision is the vision, we are Europe and we have to do this. So just do it. And the other one, I think it's a little bit dangerous. It's about, okay, we don't trust, we don't care about Europe again, so we give up Europe and we came back to the past. And this is the vision of the really far-right parties. And if you come to Milan in this moment, you have a big signs for the European election campaign, and they are all against Europe, all.
What does it mean in a wider context? Because inside the European Union, we have few countries who caused big troubles so far to the Union. I'm mentioning this because they have different foreign policy than European Union, and some of them support Putin, or at least they don't support Ukraine as much as they have to. So what is Italy doing about this? Is our leaders like Orban considered as problematic in Italy as well?
Yes, yes. I think it's a problem. It's a problem for the whole Europe, and in Italy it's the same thing. Maybe you have some people who is interested in the immigration topics, because we have a huge problem with immigration, because we have something like 6,000 kilometers of coast. All the Italy is with the sea, and we have this problem with the immigration. But year by year, every party said, okay, I have the solution, but there is no solution in this way. You can't build walls, you can't close seaport. You can do these things. You have to manage with the government of these people. So you can do it in this way. And for your question about the big problem with Orban, it's like that in this moment, and I think people are not interested in what the politicians are doing. They are interested in solutions. They want just solutions. And I think it's because they are worried for the war in Ukraine. A lot of people in Italy are not so sure about every help for Ukraine, because they say, okay, this is our money. Why are you just give them the weapon? Why just give them the money and the support and the help and so on?
So they're not afraid from Russia and from Putin aspirations to go beyond Ukraine? No,
I don't think so. I don't think so, because people don't remember the war. We had the war, it's 80s years ago, I think, 80 years ago, and they don't remember what the war is, and they are not so worried about Putin, I think. They are worried about something like, okay, there is a war, but not in my backyard. And this is the way, you know. And I think that's the problem, and the information, the press, is another problem, because you have to tell what the war is going on, how the war is going on.
But there are many Italian journalists in Ukraine.
Yes, there are many in Ukraine, and but if you constantly say okay, today we have the sirens wailing and so on, but you say just this, and you don't focus on what is really going on. I think people is just bored about this, because it's the same thing at the same time, and maybe.
So you're saying the reports are superficial? in a way?
I think it's not a superficial, but if you want something different, you have to read the newspaper. And I think people just, yes, maybe they read the newspaper, but the report are just the same. It's just a few minutes from the front, from the cities like Odessa and maybe Kiev and Kharkiv and so on. But you have just a few minutes, and I noticed every day it's the same information. Maybe nothing is going on, but I think it needs something about the people of Ukraine, not just the military, not just the war. How do you live in Ukraine at this moment? This could be an interesting topic to me. Maybe, I don't know.
Journalist job should always be more profound than just sharing simple information about that. Well, Cristina, you mentioned refugee policy and refugees that are coming to Italy all along.
A lot.
There was one well, I may say controversial deal between Giorgia Meloni and the Albanian Prime Minister Rama. Controversial, I say, because of the human rights activists who reacted on this agreement. So what is going on with this agreement? Because we know from Albanian media that everything is already set for the refugees, and if I'm not wrong, the first tour of refugees already got to Albania.
To Albania? I really don't know, because this is not my topic. I usually write and talk about crimes in Italy. So I know the president of Albania, Rama, was really upset for a TV show in Italy called Report. And he was really upset because he said the journalist of Report just pictured Albania in the wrong way. He said we are not like this. But I really don't know what to answer to you, because it's not my topic.
What about the relations, Italian relations with Albania? Is this agreement just continuation of the goodwill between two countries? Because we know a lot of Albanians already speak Italian, because you're way too close to each other, so it's natural that you have both tourists and working exchange.
Yes. Italia is really close to Albania, and I have friends from Albania and they live in Milan. And Giorgia Meloni said the relationship with Albania will continue, and I think it's in this way. I don't think the journalists from Report just meant to say wrong or bad things about Albania. They just report something about Albania. Maybe it's not everything. It's fine. Everything is good. Just this.
Was there a reaction after Mr. Rama
said something?
Yeah,
because
I think that he's not satisfied with the interview.
Yeah, he was not satisfied, and I think, but maybe I am wrong. I don't know, because I just read the news. I'm not in the news, and I think our Prime Minister just say, okay, we are sorry. And I don't know after that, because I read different news, and so I don't know, different news, different topic, so I don't know.
So let's talk about the right wing, who is now in power in Italy, and the influence on the media. Today there was a strike started from RAI, the national broadcaster of Italy, and the reason they stated is the oppression from the government, from this government. So what is going on since Giorgia Meloni came to power, and for what kind of oppression our colleagues are talking about?
I think there is a big problem, two problems. The most important problem is the censorship. And we are not used to censorship, or we like to think we are not used to censorship. And there was a big scandal in Italy for the first May, the Labor Day holiday, and usually we have a big event in Rome or in other cities of Italy, and in this big event, just a writer had to speak about something about freedom and so on. He had a speech to do, and RAI just decided to cut it off. So it's censorship, and this speech censored by RAI, by the state television, just gone viral because everyone just had the speech and read the speech on the social network, on the social media, and so I think it's a big echo to this speech. RAI tried to censorship this speech, and the speech just goes viral.
Why this form of censorship is coming now?
It's not now. It's not now because.
But because you said we're not used to. So
no,
what was the forms in the previous years?
Okay, we are not used in this way. And the second problem of RAI is about the journalists. They are asking for salary. They are asking for new journalists to replace the elder and the retired, and there is nothing is going on about this.
And why is that? Why they push the national broadcaster to?
Okay, if you just don't replace journalists, in my opinion, you are not interested in information, or maybe you are interested in a cut of information. You have a few people, and you are fine with this. You are not interested in big information, in big media, I think. Or maybe you have the control in this way.
Is this the first time the colleagues from the national broadcaster are protesting against the government? How often this happens in Italy?
It's a democracy. It's just like this when there is someone or something who came up and said something against the freedom of the press.
I'm asking this because many of Balkan countries and our national broadcasters, they don't have the will to protest whenever their freedom is under attack of the government or their censorship. So I would like to make a good example out of this conversation about the national broadcasters, which we have huge problems with here on the Balkans because they're always on the governmental side, and as I mentioned, nobody says anything about the censorship or the bad conditions they're working in. I mean, the conditions they're working in, but when it comes to the censorship in countries like North Macedonia, we can see only independent journalists or journalists only from private media to step up, and they're usually alone in that fight. Solidarity comes once in a while. Here, what's up in Italy with the solidarity? Do you expect the other journalists to go out and support the colleagues from the broadcaster, national broadcaster?
because the RAI has a lot of channel, RAI 1, 2, 3, okay. And usually the first channel of RAI is the state TV, and they are on the side of the government. you have the second channel, and maybe it's information, it's infotainment, and just like this. And you have the third channel, and from historical reason, it's the opposition. So you have a lot of point of views about what is going on, about information, about entertainment too. And there is a solidarity with journalists because they are all RAI, all in the same, I don't know, factory, the same channel. And but it's normal if something is going wrong, you have to say, and you're gonna strike. So you say I'm not with this government, and I think the problem with the speech, the censored speech, was huge. Was huge because usually. You have the right party, the right wing, but usually they don't cut off the speeches, or maybe the opinions, or maybe the journalists, and it happens right away in this moment in Italy. The persona non grata, the person the government dislikes, just go away.
How?
How? Okay.
Yeah, is that easy?
We have
to
yeah, it's easy. It's
take
easy
away
because
someone who
they just cut off the agreement, or maybe they don't do a new agreement. Okay, but these people, these journalists, or these people cut it off of RAI. Usually, they go to a private channel with a lot of money and a lot of viewers. So it's easy to do the same thing in another channel, private channel. So
do you have an association, journalist association, that is standing behind you when something like this happens?
We have Ordine dei Giornalisti. It's something like something like a order, an association of journalists, but they don't really stand up for journalists. The journalists stand up by themselves, from themselves. There is a solidarity between journalists. You don't have to be RAI journalists to stand aside with the journalists RAI people. It's not like this.
Last year, while I was making some analysis about online attacks on female journalists and women journalists, I interviewed you, and of all the answers I collected, maybe the best system is provided in Italy when it comes to online attackers on journalists. So can you explain to my viewers a little bit more about the postal police?
The postal police. Okay.
Yes, and how they react when there is an online threat for a journalist, and do you have to go and report it, or they are doing all the job?
Okay. For the postal police, usually in Italy work on normal people. Normal people, I mean not journalist people, with some attacks online. So you are bullied, stalking, cyber stalking online. You have to report or if you want, you have to report to postal police, and if you have the proofs of this, you can have some answer to your problem. For the for the attacks on journalists, you have the order of journalists. You have the Ordine dei Giornalisti, and usually they do something for you. Usually. It depends if it is threatening of death, you have the police. You have to call the police just right away, and the police do something to search, to find who is the guy or the guys who is threatening you, like this way. And it depends on what is the threat and what are you doing in your life, what is your job, and so on. But usually the postal police do something not very fast, because the online is faster than the police, the postal police. But usually they can solve your case, usually.
So do you feel protected as a journalist in Italy?
I'm a freelance journalist, and I know the limits. I know the obligation of the press. I know my job, and I'm trying to stay. I don't know. I'm trying to write about facts, checked facts, and I try to do my job for the readers, and I give them the information, and I give them usually about crime. I give them some advice, and I can do this. It's not a problem for the press. But I know if I just step off this border, maybe I will not have protection. Maybe.
Yes, but I was talking about the righteous working, and not about what we call that people that are not journalists in their job. I was talking about the association protecting real journalists who does respect all of the journalist standards.
Usually, if you respect the standards, you have no problem. But
yes,
these standards are, to me, really strict.
But discovering corruption or revealing something, because you're a criminologist, you're often guest to all the Italian televisions when there is a crime happening, so you analyze it, which is it's not so safe job, because it can be dangerous, because we're talking about criminals and criminal acts. So I wasn't talking about getting out of the journalist standard, but sometimes someone might find offended or threatened by you and your reporting, and you're saying about specific criminal cases. In that context, do you feel safe and protected?
No, I don't, because it happens that people who has a connection with the publisher just give a call to the publisher and said, I don't like this journalist, so can you do something for me about this journalist? You can say it's corruption if you want, but in this way it's a big problem, because I have information. I have information about cases, but if I am going to publish this, to edit this, maybe I could have some problem with the person I am talking to, and this person just take a phone and make a phone call to the publisher and stop me forever.
So the same things happen everywhere.
Everywhere.
So what was
it's the word.
What was the worst case that happened to you during your long career?
In my long career, the worst case about freedom, or the worst case about what I'm doing, like a criminologist and journalist?
Yes, freedom and attacks, possible attacks on you, and threats.
Okay. When I was when I've been in Ukraine, usually people say, okay, don't say a lot about this because we haven't the information you have. So this was a big problem because I was there and I was there all by myself. I am an independent journalist and I was talking about things going on in Borodianka, in Irpin and so on. But someone said, okay, I'm not interested in these things because we have not the official things. So they didn't know the situation there and they don't trust me. It's okay, it's not a problem, but I have video, I have photos, and
Yes,
so
but
I'm a journalist, so maybe I checked the facts. So it was facts, and they are not interested in this. So, but it's normal.
yes, but did you have any problems with criminals?
With criminals.
Yes, because you that is your main job and main topic. That is your expertise.
Yes.
So, do you ever felt threatened by some criminals involved in a case you were?
Yes, a couple of times, but everything gone well because I just said this to the police, and the police was really ready to help me, and they just did their job, and I did mine, so everything was okay. But I think if you have a criminal who threatens you, maybe you are ready for this attack. But if you don't know how is coming the threatening, maybe it's more difficult to understand and not understandable at all.
Well, Cristina, we all need from time to time to spill over our creativity, and you're doing it fantastically. You wrote 3 fiction novels so far. I'm lucky to have one of them. The translation is The Hell of the Chosen One.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask you, I understand that you have to do something with all the creativity you have in yourself and to go out of the box of journalism, but do you find inspiration in real cases?
Yes.
Or you sit down and just imagine things?
No. It's not just imagination, it's they are real cases, and I put the real criminals, the real cases, the real homicides, suicides, and so on in my novels, thriller novels, because usually because I need to be creative, because my job isn't so. My job, like yours,
Yes,
is on
we
the
have
facts.
standards. We
Yes.
have to.
Yeah, we have to tell the
follow,
truth.
yes.
We have to manage with the truth. So I just find a way to go away with the fantasy, with my soul, with my imagination. And I have this character. He's Enea Cristofori from Italian Police, and this character came in my mind because I have a friend. There is a friend of mine, and a policeman, and he's a little bit inspirational to write about Enea Cristofori. And Enea, this is the third novel for now. Maybe I will write a fourth.
Maybe we will have chances to translate it
Maybe.
and to publish it on Macedonian.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if a publisher in Macedonia wants me, I'm here, and the fictional books are based in the Milan city center. So you have a case, you have an inspirational policeman with his team, because he has a team, and you have the city, so maybe something interesting for you too, I don't know.
Well, Milan always brings interest in Macedonian citizens. I mean, Italy is
We have fashion.
one of the favorite countries to visit to all of us of the Balkans.
Okay.
Cristina, you wrote 3 crime novels and 8 scientific pieces. So,
Yeah.
do you sometimes get confused what is
Yes, a lot.
fiction and what is part of the real case?
Yes, sometimes I get some confusion because reality just overtakes fantasy and fiction and soul and fantasy because we have a lot of cases where the criminals are really not so bad people, not so bad, but they do everything, and you don't expect this in this way, for this motive, stupid motive. Maybe because you just broke my flowers, I just kill you. It's a lot. So when you write a book, usually you have to stay in something trustable. You can go in this way, and usually you have a criminal. In Italy, we have a homicide case. They killed a couple of married one. They killed 4 people and injured another 5 people. So you have 5 victims, and they killed a little boy of 2 years old. And they killed the mother of the boy and the grandma of the boy and the neighbor, one neighbor. And they just killed because they said that they were so noisy for them, and they just want silence. So they killed 4 people. It's huge.
Okay,
It's
but
terrible.
we cannot classify them as good people.
No, it's not a good people, but the motive was so
small.
so small. So they really are bad people, but you don't expect this from 2 normal people. They were just 2 normal people, and they went
Or at
mad.
least they looked like
Look
normal
like yes,
people.
they look like normal.
Well, the TV stations, the media, and the people trust you when there is a criminal case, and you make some comments
so.
on it. But what about the Italian police? Are they keen to talk with you about the cases and maybe to get some insight or some other point of view, or they act totally separately and they never call journalists to ask for opinion if they have some information?
They work separately, and we have two police investigation. We have the state police, and we have carabinieri, and it's like a military police, but they do investigation, and they don't speak to each other, and they just hide information for each other on the case, on the same case. This is my information, I don't want to share with you this information. So we have a huge problem in this sense. And both of them, state police and military police, usually don't ask for help. And I'm not alone. I'm
yes,
not.
But if you say something right on TV station,
yeah,
did
okay.
they make some action based on what you said, or
Yes,
based on some new information brought in public?
Okay, it happened. They had the information via TV, and they said nothing. Okay, but if you say something they find interesting, maybe they can work in this way. But usually they don't ask for help. They just have their consultants, but they are just police or carabinieri. And usually if you have information and you want to say, okay, maybe we can go in this way because I find this, they say, okay, let me think, let me know, just, okay, send me an email. Usually it's like this. You send the email, and the other side usually gone silence.
At the end, you have a book fair in front of you. Now
Yeah.
you go when you
On
go
Sunday.
back in Italy. So, what are your plans for the future? Is there maybe another novel coming to life?
Maybe I have a non-fictional book. I think it will be published for a big publisher in Italy in October or November. I really don't know, but in the winter. And I'm trying to write the fourth Enea Cristofori book, so I'm just here and take a trip on the Balkans. Maybe I have some idea, I don't know.
You should stay longer
Yes,
to the
I
Balkans.
could.
I'm sure you will go back with ideas for 10 next novels.
10 next novels, yeah.
We are doing well with the number of
Yeah.
crimes, so
No,
you will
it's not
find a
so-
lot of inspiration if you stay here. Cristina, thank you very much
Thank you to
for
you.
coming to my studio, and thank you very much for visiting Skopje for the second time. Hope to see you
I wait
somewhere.
for you in Milan the next
course.
time. So
Of course, hope that our next interviews and next seeings will not be in a war zone like we met.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
thank you to you, Cristina.
Това беше колешката Cristina Brondoni од Милано овде во студиото на Медиатак. Ви благодарам за вниманието со кое не следевте и овој четврток се гледаме следниот. Довидување.